Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
And we're back. Live from New York. It's the Editor's Note. Yeah.
You are a liar. You are a terrible, terrible liar.
It's not New York. It's not Saturday. It's
no,
not
it's
live.
None of it. Well, I mean, it's live in the moment. It's live to the recording device.
Which is not what the
You
people
need to
are
work
doing.
on... Okay, so listen. I'm going to give... You know how a couple weeks ago you were giving me direction? I'm going to help produce the show a little bit better.
I'm going to edit it out. Ha, how about that? Yeah.
Okay, just because you have creative control on that doesn't mean I can't spew some ideas here. We need a better greeting. Our open is great. Our sound guy made a fantastic open, who I met sound guy last week.
I know, it stole our thunder. Because it's so good, it just says what we need to say.
It does, but I met sound guy last week. Cool guy.
Good job, sound guy.
Yes, nice
Mad
work.
Titan Productions.
Yes, the CEO, president, and lead monkey at Mad Titan Productions.
Did I ever tell you the genesis behind that?
That he likes Thanos?
Well, there is that, but like the name that I came up with the store, it took me like 2.5 weeks to come up with, and I had pitched another idea originally, and Steve Levine, the guy who designed
I was there I was part of those spitball sessions where we...
But I was like
Kapow Comics was one of the ones that you originally had thought of for the store.
And I don't remember what
And I think you also had Onomatopoeia was in there somewhere.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah. Oh yeah, these are terrible.
Yeah.
But I pitched it to Steve for a logo design. He's like, these are awful. Come up with something different. It took me like 2.5 weeks. This guy emailed me. He's like, what should I call myself? And in like 5 seconds, I'm like, Mad Titan Productions. I'm like, why couldn't mine have been that fast?
That's a great question.
It took me 5 seconds to think of that.
I can just... Let's, for a moment here, let's think about this. Welcome back to the Onomatopoeia Editor's Note. I mean, this isn't the Onomatopoeia comic book podcast.
This didn't happen.
It didn't. I know. You didn't go with Onomatopoeia. This opening vamp needs a little tweaking. It needs a little extra.
Do you know what it needs? A brand new McDonald's commercial from you.
You can't play that.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't.
I totally could.
No, you could?
Yeah.
Oh, well then here, enjoy.
Commercial break!
Rise to the challenge and start your day with McCafe coffee. Try any size, hot or medium iced coffee for just $1 at McDonald's. Limited time offer only applicable to hot and iced drip coffee.
That was you. That's real. That's on the radio right now.
You will hear my voice across, and you know what?
You shill?
At the end,
you're selling out to Ronald McDonald himself?
Here's the funny part about all this. I will never see a dime from McDonald's. I won't see a penny. Maybe if I could roll up. Now, I wonder if I could roll up to the McDonald's and be like, you know who I am, right? I am the voice. The voice of McDonald's in Central Maine.
The voice of September 2017's ad, baby.
September or September? I like September myself.
I hate you. I hate you so much for that.
Why?
Because it was so punny. You know what? I've had to deal with more terrible jokes from you recently, so it's fine.
Hey, Zach!
No! No one knows what you're doing. I don't want to deal with it anymore. No more dad jokes in the weird raspy cigarette voice.
Why was Dracula picked last for his team?
Because you're a son of a bitch.
Because he sucks. On to the news!
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
This has been the last 2 weeks of my life.
I love every minute of it. This is great.
We're
also expanding people's horizons,
I've also
dude.
spent a weird amount of time with you I guess not a weird amount, but a lot of time with you in the last 2 weeks.
You've spent more time with me the last couple of weeks.
And just...
outside of the normal weekly brouhaha.
It's all been dad jokes. Not original dad jokes, just one you've been reading off of
Okay, listen.
some webpage, which I can only assume is like baddadjokes.com.
No, it was actually a BuzzFeed feed. And let's call a spade a spade. It wasn't just me. It was good friend of the show, Mike. He was also...
He doesn't listen.
Oh, he's a good friend of us. Good friend of mine, at least.
God, such a good friend he doesn't listen to our creative endeavors. It's fine.
You know why?
Because he doesn't care at all.
Well, no, he's got a wife, a couple of kids. He's got a lot going on. He's a busy guy.
Yeah. All right, the news.
He did cook some damn good kebabs the other night, though. Those were delicious.
Yeah, even some Jared-approved ones without, like, any vegetables.
No, I had vegetables on a couple of mine. I had some potatoes, little onion, and some red pepper.
You said you'll eat zucchini, but only if it's not cooked. Who eats raw zucchini?
I also will only eat raw carrots. I'll eat zucchini in a bread. Like, zucchini bread's not bad.
So, cooked zucchini.
It's hidden in the bread. That's how I look at it. It's like if you have a pet and you take their pill and you break it up and mix it in with wet food. That's kind of how I see that.
I've never heard anyone go, I'll eat zucchini as long as it's not cooked.
Well,
that's a first.
But do you hear my logic on the zucchini bread?
I hear that you're a crazy man.
Listen, I'm just saying, anyone who's ever eaten a vegetable dies. I'm just putting that out there.
We'll start with the sad news.
Wow, thanks. Now I feel like did he have vegetables in his lifetime?
Probably. Comics legend Len Wein passed away this week at the age of 69. The cause of death is unknown. He is best known for being the co-creator of Wolverine, the writer of Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975, which basically, if you like the X-Men or comics, that's kind of the book that made everything what it is today for modern stuff. Along with being the co-creator of Swamp Thing, the editor on Watchmen, and the writer and editor of a ton of books. A lot of people have been picking out some of his specific works in the last couple of days, dealing with some of his Batman stuff, his Superman stuff, his Swamp Thing stuff, or a lot of people have been going into his Phantom Stranger stuff. But I mean, this guy is a massive legend, and he's been in and out of the hospital recently. I don't know why, but I was thinking about is there a bug in here?
I just killed it.
Oh, good.
I swatted it right out of the sky like King Kong and the biplanes around the Empire State Building.
They killed him, you know.
It was beauty that killed the beast.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Oh, you're not going to top that. Podcast over.
Good night.
But there's a great book out there, which I highly recommend everyone read. It's called, Marvel, the Untold Story, something like that. Love it. It's also very dark. It gets really kind of the underbelly of a lot of comic book stuff. And they talk about Len Wein and creating Wolverine. And I guess Hugh Jackman, he met Len Wein, and Hugh Jackman did throw up a thing, in 2008. He was like, oh my god, thank you so much for my career. Without your creation, I would have nothing. And Len Wein his response was oh yeah, it was so nice to have, thanks. You know what I would have preferred?
Money?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. As with so many creators, even him being high up in editorial, he was one of the many guys screwed over by the work for hire stuff back in the day. And he never received the financial recognition that he should have. When we ever do lose anyone big in the industry, I would always say go to the Hero Initiative, which I've mentioned before on the show. It's a charity that all these guys who do work for hire stuff, who have created pop culture today, who don't have things like health insurance or a safety net, where if you give to the Hero Initiative, they try and help pick up medical bills for comic creators who don't have any other way of paying for medical things. I have no idea if what happened to Len Wein was avoidable or any of that stuff, but it's always a charity worth mentioning.
There you go.
But, it was very sad to see his passing in 69. That's young.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so very sad passing. Absolute titan of the industry, and it's sad that we've been losing so many recently. I mean, within the last year, we've lost both co-creators of Swamp Thing between Bernie Wrightson and Len Wein. Insane. And big blow to the industry. He will be missed. Moving on. God, I looked at the next news story. I was going to say happier news. I don't know. Moving on to more news.
Does it say Sinead O'Connor?
No, it says Gavin O'Connor.
Oh,
Not
okay.
You see Sinead there?
I can't read
You see O'Connor, but you see Sinead?
Well, your handwriting is atrocious.
That says Gavin. Sometimes
Okay,
I like to keep it cryptic so no one knows what I'm writing.
Okay, thank you. Very few people still write in ancient cuneiform. You were one of them. Hammurabi's Cove over here.
Gavin O'Connor from the kind of okay movie The Accountant. Hashtag The Accountant 2 coming in a few years. Don't know why.
Is that the one with Ben Affleck?
Yeah, Affleck, Anna Kendrick, John Berthel.
Okay, where he's the guy that's
accounting.
Yeah, accounting for mobsters and gang people.
Oh, and John Lithgow's in that, right?
Oh, is it? Yes.
It's fine. I saw it. It's fine. It's my quick review. It's fine. I have no intention of watching it ever again. It was worth watching once. Good review.
Redbox hit.
But Gavin O'Connor, director of The Accountant, is going to be directing Suicide Squad 2. David Ayer is out. Yay.
Thought you were going to drop the baby. David Ayer's out, baby.
Yay, baby.
Okay, so David Ayer's out.
Gavin O'Connor is in. The Accountant's fine. I don't really care. They said that name, I was like, oh boy. He directed a movie that was fine. He directed a movie that disrespected comic books because Ben Affleck's this crazy, illegal accountant. And one of his assets is an Action Comics #1 that he just haphazardly throws in a bag. That's an asset for a reason. What are you doing?
You realize it was a movie prop. It wasn't actually an action.
I know, but he has no respect for the industry. This movie has no chance based on those 2 seconds.
You're peaking. You're peaking levels.
Oh yeah, boy, I am.
You're having an angry moment. You need to...
Oh, you think this is my angry moment?
So we have a new director for Suicide Squad 2.
Speaking of directors.
Oh boy.
Actually, half the news this week is director news. Drew Goddard originally started his work on Buffy and Angel, wrote Cloverfield, wrote The Martian.
I like The Martian. Good movie.
Was the original showrunner on Daredevil. Then he had to leave because he thought he was going to direct a Sinister Six movie that never happened. What else has he done?
That they set up for and never did.
Yeah. And co-wrote and directed Cabin in the Woods. Is going to be directing the upcoming X-Force movie that is going to have Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds as producers on.
Really?
Yeah. So, he's good. I like his stuff.
Is it going to have the girl who played X-24?
23?
23.
I doubt it,
Sorry.
but she could, I guess.
She was good as
Who the hell knows?
She was in that role.
Yeah, I mean, X-Force is essentially the Wetworks team of the X-Men.
Okay.
The extreme team. So extreme, there's an extra X in extreme. The XX, not that many X's, extreme team.
Well, XX is only 2 X's.
I don't want to go porn X's.
Well, that's 3. You didn't go 3.
That's triple X.
Count to 3, not 2, which
As
comes after 1 and before 3, and not 4.
Triple X is the hardest movie in the world to pirate.
Mm.
How are you going to find it amongst all the porn?
And you're probably scared to type in like triple X Vin Diesel.
Ooh, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, he's there with a glass of wine,
getting drunk on a beach.
That doesn't sound bad.
Moving on. I got to read a preview copy of Batman White Knight #1, written by local Maine artist Sean Gordon Murphy.
And?
It's good. It's real good.
You like it?
I liked it a lot. It combined a lot of loving aspects to past things. I'm seeing a lot of Dark Knight Returns influence. I'm seeing a lot of Batman the Animated Series influence, which he's been very upfront about. But it also added something new, and it's really, really good. Add Batman White Knight to your pull list. It's going to be worthwhile. It's going to be...
When is that coming out? When can we start putting that on our list?
I mean, you can add it now.
When will we get our grubby little hands on it?
Next month, October.
Okay.
But I got to read issue 1. It's really good. I got to read issue 1 with 1 billion watermarks on it.
I bet it does.
It's really funny when there's like a big book that's coming out and you get a PDF of it for retailers. Your ID number just watermarked all over, like, you leak this.
We know
who it was. But if you get like a PDF from a smaller company, it's just clean.
No, there you go.
Whenever there's a big book coming out that they send you, watermarked to hell.
Will you buy a clean version for yourself?
I'm honestly considering hanging on to one.
Oh, well, there you go.
That says a lot for me. I don't hang on to anything. More directorial news. Patty Jenkins has officially signed on for Wonder Woman 2.
Okay, and paint me surprised.
No, that's in their best interest. I bet
yeah.
She got paid, though. I mean, it's been a while since that movie happened, and they've been under contract negotiations for a while. I bet that was a lot of her just going like, a little more.
As I understand,
I actually think I'll take a little more.
As I understand it, you're having trouble with your flagship movie, and right now I'm the best thing you guys have put out in the last 10 years. A little more?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was. It was Patty Jenkins just being like, I'll take some more money, please. And they're going, isn't that enough? No.
Think about, I've made you more money than any of the other movies have.
I'm sorry, Batman who?
Yes.
So yeah, Patty Jenkins is signed on, which is good. That's a smart move. If they did anything else, it would have had such a massive backlash. DC was really backed into a corner with that.
DC's backed into a corner, period. Because Justice League cannot fall on its face.
It's gonna fall on its face. It's gonna fall on its face hard.
Well, in that case, they really need to sign her on, because then they really, 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 really need to have a good Wonder Woman movie.
Last bit of director's news. Today, when we're recording, the new director of Star Wars Episode 9 was announced, and my response was, ew.
My response was, all right, I like it.
Yeah, you're more positive than
Why
me.
do you not like this?
For those who didn't see it, and by now you probably have, J.J. Abrams, director of Star Wars Episode 7, has been announced as the new director, replacing Colin Trevorrow, who the hell cares, he was fired, for Star Wars Episode 9, which has now been delayed to December 2019.
Oh!
Whatever. just makes it... I think the delay is really, we do well when we sell toys around Christmas.
Yes.
I don't think it's a creative delay.
We're going to have to wait till 2019 anyway.
I was thinking back on J.J. Abrams' filmography, and his best movies have been kicking off a franchise. When he has continued a franchise, they've sucked. Look at Mission Impossible 3. Look at Star Trek Into Darkness, No colon. Not good movies. This is going to be a continuation, but...
What about...
Potential silver lining. Those movies had literally no purpose, no direction. They were just... do another one.
I was going to say, this is the end.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the conclusion of this trilogy. There's going to be one after that, but let's just deal with... This is the conclusion of a story. He hasn't done that before. We've never seen that, so it could potentially be good.
I loved episode 7.
So do I, but I would say he executed it. I wouldn't say that he necessarily elevated it.
I think he was...
And there is a big difference.
He was the right guy for it.
No, I totally agree with that. That I agree with. Episode 7 was a fairly pandering movie to the past. I'm also not... A lot of people have turned that movie. I'm not someone who's turned on it. I still like the movie a lot, but I'm afraid he's going to play too much into nostalgia, more than he already did. Would be my fear.
Let's find out what happens with The Last Jedi first.
Well, he also said...
And how that sets the table.
It also goes against the original mission statement of doing these new Star Wars movies. It was that we get someone hot and fresh... They come in, they do their thing, they get out because we don't want them to get bogged down.
You don't want the George Lucas effect.
Yeah, potentially because he stepped away and you didn't think he was coming back, and maybe you won't get that. But at the same time, it doesn't make me excited, it makes me concerned. We also have a guy who is deeply entrenched in the studio system. He knows how to play the studio stuff, and I don't think he's a guy who is going to take chances. Something I like about Rian Johnson doing episode 8, he's a guy who will take chances.
And rock the boat a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think Abrams is going to do that. Like, you could say, like, spoilers that don't matter anymore. Killing Han Solo is because Harrison Ford was like, pay me a lot of money, I'll come back to die.
Yes.
That's not changing the status quo. That's just Harrison Ford wanted out and they gave him a lot of money.
He's been wanting to kill that character since the 80s.
Yeah, so that was just him making a really stupid kill face. Look at it, it's a stupid face. And getting out. Like, that's as close as they came to, like, shaking up the status quo.
Somebody had to die. Han made the most sense.
I'm not, like, Star Wars has failed and it's gonna be terrible, but I'm not like, oh boy, we're gonna get the next big creative thing. I'm kind of hesitant.
Well...
how dare I have middle ground on the internet?
We're two years and 2 months away from that.
Yeah, I mean, we're less than 100 days away from Star Wars.
Let's see how episode 8 comes out and how that goes.
Yeah. Top 10 comics for the month of August.
Oh, boy. You want... Oh, yeah, we had a little sound there, didn't we?
I don't think we do we?
Oh, I don't know.
Do we have a sound for this? It's only a once a month thing. Oh, you know who was out this month before I get into this?
Who?
Walking Dead, number 11 this month.
Really?
They're usually in the top 10. They were kicked down to 11. Number 9 and number 10. Star Wars number 34 and 35. We're getting towards the end of Jason Aaron's run before he leaves the book. He's not leaving Marvel. He's just doing other stuff, which is fine. He's really good. He's one of my favorite writers out there right now. Number 8. Generations.
Oh, well, Star Trek.
No, not that Generations.
Oh.
It's been a series going on, a bunch of one-shots. Mighty Thor and Unworthy Thor, which is probably my favorite of the Generations book. But not the top Generations book this month, which is also not a surprise. Number 7 and number 6. Secret Empire, number 8 and number 9. I've seen mixed reactions online. What are you talking about? Secret Empire was great. Stop being mixed. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot.
You tell the people.
I will. I'll tell you my opinion and tell you that my opinion's right.
Yes.
Number 5. Generations, All New Wolverine, and Wolverine. It was fine. I liked it. I don't know if it was number 5 worthy, but still a good book.
Well, people bought it.
Number 4. Very deserving. Secret Empire number 10, finishing up the Secret Empire storyline. Nick Spencer wrote a hell of a book. I treat it as a love letter to Marvel and comics and everything they're about, and everyone who is mad about Hydra Cap, stick it up your bum.
There you go.
There you go. Right up the bum. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Up the bum. Number 2 and number 3.
1 page at a time.
Batman 28 and 29. Batman, it's gotten better. The guy writing it right now, Tom King, I loved his work before on Marvel. He wrote Vision a year or 2 years ago. One of the best books, period. I can't wait for that to get a hardcover. It hasn't happened yet. Marvel, what are you doing? His start on Batman, a lot of people liked it. I thought it was a little rocky, but now he has hit his stride. He is kicking some ass on Batman. And this book's selling well is well deserved. Dark Knight's Metal #1 is our top seller.
Metal, baby, yeah!
Yeah. And the writer of the book, Scott Snyder, said that artist Greg Capullo did stick, as you just did, someone in every book doing the horns. All right, we are moving on to stupid news.
What is this?
Oh, it's This Week in Stupid News.
This is a new level of lame.
We have stupid news this week? Oh, I like when we have stupid news.
This isn't comic book news, but this either caused me to have an aneurysm or go insane. I'm not sure which.
Well, you already were insane. If you're having an aneurysm, you'd probably be in the hospital. Let's say it triggered you. You're now woke, as the kids would say. You're shook.
I am shook with rage.
Okay, there's a vein bulging out of your forehead. I like how you have the laptop up so you can see your levels and maintain.
No, I'm going to show you a movie.
Okay, yes.
Actress, I use that term loosely, Tara Reid is going to be in 9 upcoming movies.
9?
Somehow.
Okay.
I think she should just give up already and get into porn. She tweeted a movie that she's doing with the poorest Photoshop job. No, you can't look yet.
Okay, I
poorest
see it and I
Photoshop
think I'm going to be
I've
angry.
ever seen. Andy the Talking Hedgehog.
What the hell is going on here?
Everything about this is about the worst photoshopping you've ever seen until we get to movie number 2, potentially.
Is this direct to DVD? This is direct to VHS looking shit right here.
I'm not sure what it is yet.
Is this even real?
Yeah.
This can't be real.
There are set photos going back to December of last year. I did a lot of research. This took up way too much of my day.
The guy in the middle, wow, how have you fallen?
Dean Cain.
Yes.
So let's start off. I have no idea who the little girl is. Dean Cain. This is a photo of Dean Cain when he was on the Today Show, except they just flipped it and photoshopped it in poorly. Like, you can just see the barrier. There's a headshot of Tara Reid from the early 2000s. So, like, 16 years ago, headshot of Tara Reid. Andy the Talking Hedgehog. There's a quote on the poster that says, "A magically good time." No one is credited with this quote. It's made up. And then there's a description of the movie written by Scott Baio that says, quote, "Tara Reid brings her Oscar Award-winning prowess to this documentary about a hedgehog that Dean Cain farted on and giving it the ability to talk. It's a fun-loving family movie." Oh, God, that will for sure make you say, "Wowza, that's a stinky fart."
It is on IMDb. I'm taking a look right now.
This is real. Set photos from 2016 exist.
Let's see. Some guy named Beeblebrox Blaze is in it as Whiskers.
What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
Let's see. Full cast and crew. Grover McCants is in it as Gus. I don't see Dean Cain as part of the cast.
This is a production company.
Am I on the right movie?
Sure you are.
Yeah, Andy the Talking Hedgehog, 2017.
This is a production company that has like 10 movies out. Most of them star Dean Cain. There was an Indiegogo where one of the rewards was Dean Cain's wife.
Really?
Also, Dean Cain farts on a hedgehog and it makes it talk. This is a documentary?
It's coming out December 29th.
Tara Reid's character is also a fairy? This blows my mind. Follow your dreams. You could do anything if this exists. Wow. Followed by another poster that Tara Reid sent out.
I'm trying to figure this out. It's 10 movies. Wait, Baby Bulldog?
Oh, Baby Bulldog is next.
A Dog for Christmas? I'd like to think that they are trolling you.
Next up is Baby Bulldog, starring Dean Cain and Tara Reid in worst photoshopping job. Tara Reid is playing a doctor. Dean Cain has a gavel, apparently some kind of judge. They don't know how to Photoshop. They had trouble finding a place to put the text in. So inside of a cloud it says, "Put your paws up." It's called Baby Bulldog.
Somebody lost all their money on drugs and it was probably Tara Reid.
What is she holding?
It's not a bulldog. It looks like baby bullshit to me.
What is happening?
Wow, this isn't stupid news. This is like confusion. Let's see. Baby Bulldog. Let's fact check the show on this.
What is there to fact check? That's not a bulldog!
I know that. I'm not fact checking that. I'm fact checking this movie.
Why is she a doctor?
I don't know. I actually got real pictures of real baby bulldogs when I looked that up. Let's try Baby Bulldog Tara Reid. I'm glad that you didn't tell me this beforehand. This is kind of fun for me to explore in real time.
Why does Dean Cain have a gavel? Why is he working for this production company?
I don't know.
He's had a recurring role on Supergirl in the last 2 seasons.
Oh.
Why is he doing this?
Here we go. Animal lover Amber desperately wants a dog to love when she falls for Shadow. She takes on her family and City Hall to fight for her new best friend in a race against the clock.
I want to punch you just because you read that to me.
Oh, look at
Not
that.
because you have anything to do with it.
picture.
No, take the pictures away.
Oh, look, on the set of Baby Bulldog. Directed by Joel and Angelina.
Set photos exist. Is this real?
I don't know. There's a guy with a cowboy hat. There's some people watching some TV. Directors, Angela Peavy and Joel Paul Resig. What is he, what else has he directed? He was born February 2nd, 1984. A producer and actor known best for, Horse Camp. When Kathy arrives at Horse Camp, she realizes she must deal with Stacy, the resident mean girl. As competition heats up, Kathy learns to recognize the true value of real friendship. He was a producer on this movie. It's called Arlo, the Burping Pig. A 7-year-old girl befriends a teacup pig named Arlo, voiced by Drake Bell. 6.3 stars.
This broke me.
Did it really?
This broke me when I saw
So I
this.
shouldn't read you about Amanda and the fox.
No, you should.
10-year-old Amanda desperately wants a dog, but her dad won't have it. When she finds a young fox, she and her friend Maggie conspire to keep it as a pet. Little do they know, the trouble... Oh, there's a full summary. The trouble that awaits is the fox is pursued by a pair of shady, bumbling Russians with an ulterior motive. What, does the fox have the United States nuclear codes?
What is this?
Come on. Rachel Belak is in it, and her role is Cat Lady.
That's the stupid news for this
Richard
week.
Karn is in it.
Please stop talking about this. Let's move on.
Some guy named Michael Milley plays Dimitri.
Let's move on.
Wow. Rodeo Girl.
Stop reading.
Kevin
scriptures.
Sorbo is in that.
Why?
I don't know. He's shipped off to our American Dad's ranch for the summer. A teen and her horse, Lucky Lass, compete for a spot at the National Youth Rodeo. Kevin Sorbo plays Duke Williams in a real tour de force.
How about you go f*** yourself, Kevin Sorbo?
All right, on to this week's special review of something. A movie review? Or a TV movie review?
It's a made-for-TV movie. With Thor Ragnarok.
Maybe I'm going to be lucky now, and after doing this, someone's going to hear this and be like, oh, we need that guy that does, movie trailers. And I'll be the voiceover guy for Baby Bulldog and, whoever the talking hedgehog.
Thor Ragnarok is out this November.
The end of the world's already happened with bullshit movies like Andy the Talking Hedgehog.
Oh, God. Thor and Hulk are together. We're going to talk about the first time they were in this made-for-TV movie, Return of the Incredible Hulk, or The Incredible Hulk Returns. Who the hell remembers?
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
When you say the first time they're together, do you mean sexually?
No!
Okay, just to clarify.
Look, Thor's in a towel for a while.
He is, and then he proceeds to, want to shotgun a beer but not know how.
We're not there yet. Okay, so, what we're talking about this week. The Incredible Hulk TV series. I haven't seen all of it. I watched the first 3 seasons. I kind of fell off in season 4. Haven't seen it. The show lasted 4 seasons. After that, there were some made-for-TV movies. This was the first made-for-TV movie featuring Bill Bixby as David Banner, not Bruce Banner, because they thought the name Bruce was too gay.
David Bruce Banner. He did have his middle name.
Yes, it was. Also, that explanation is real. And Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. This is their first made-for-TV movie.
Lou Ferrigno had real easy lines to remember. He also does a lot of bicep flex.
He's big.
He's not tiny.
I can't say he's not in shape.
Well, Bill Bixby is also relatively large.
He's also a very healthy dude. But this first made-for-TV movie was also intended to be a backdoor pilot for a potential Thor series that never happened. Maybe they just didn't like him in a towel. I don't know. But I guess full spoilers on this because who's going to go back to it? It starts off, as every episode starts off, with that classic TV intro, which I love. It's so good.
Yes. Guy, David Bruce Banner, has a gamma radiation accident and he becomes the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, it's pretty straightforward.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
No. I like how they sprinkled in there. You're not going to like me when I'm angry.
I mean, that's in every intro. That's right out of the pilot. It's mostly just clips from the pilot that they shuffled together. Don't say yes like you know. You haven't watched the pilot.
No, I've watched the pilot.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right, maybe you have, maybe you
How else would I have known about this little gem right here that I'm bringing to the show tonight? Oh, you're offline. Damn it. That sucks. Oh.
But the movie starts out terribly. David is living with a woman, and they have incredibly awkward exposition. It would go something like this. Hey, Jared.
Hey, Zach.
Do you know how we've lived together for the last 2 years?
It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'm not quite ready to tell you about the demons that I have within me. A monster, you might say.
Oh.
But I certainly have problems, but we sure have been happy for the last 2 years together, you and I. You've never been on the show before, have you?
You told me a lot about your destructive past.
Yeah, it's like that. You're just...
Before that even, this woman's jogging on the beach and he's like out on his deck and he holds up a thing of coffee like, hey, look at this.
You know what? Bill Bixby is a pimp.
Oh my
because
God.
he just like gives her these like, hey, you want this hot coffee? This is like Grand Theft Auto hot coffee, baby.
Yeah, and by hot coffee, he means hot lovin'.
Do you remember that cheat code?
What?
Where the old PlayStation version of like Grand Theft Auto 3, like hot coffee was the code you could put in to have like pixelated sex. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing it back, baby.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Hot coffee mod.
Hot coffee.
Do you want to tell us about McDonald's hot drip coffee?
Those were cold and hot. I believe it was cold and hot lattes. McCafe.
So we start off just terrible exposition. David Banner, working at a science institute where apparently he doesn't have to have a W-4.
You could totally fake your ID.
But I think his name is like David Banyan. He doesn't even try.
No, it's like D. Banyan.
And he's come up with a gamma irradiating machine.
Yes, he
to
has.
suck the gamma out of him.
If the woman already hadn't in the exposition.
Jesus. So crass.
It's the joke you wanted to make.
I did not.
It's the joke you're glad I made, and
I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I do. I feel dirty.
I feel
gamma irradiated. And just as good old David Banyan's about to try it on himself, this weird curly-headed individual comes out from behind everything. He's like, aha! I knew it was you with our well-established history, Dr. Banner. It is I, Donald Blake.
Which, by the way, okay, so the premise is that Banner, like, leaves from town, wherever he goes, and he gets settled in a town, right? And then
he has to leave sadly.
He has to leave, so you get the sad music. He leaves these towns that he tears to shreds, yeah. All right? Is some sort of vagrant hobo.
Sometimes he goes to a racetrack and saves a kid named Billy.
Don't worry, Billy. Anyway, what you're missing overall in this is he thinks he's, like, hiding from people. How the hell does this guy find him? How does Blake find him?
They never actually address that.
Yeah. Plot hole right away.
And Donald Blake, who you might recognize from the comics as Thor's alter ego back in the Silver Age day. Walter Simonson would be the guy who would originally get rid of it in the 80s. But basically, Donald Blake was the human avatar for Thor to learn humanity. Odin made him do it. It was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, they're doing Donald Blake. That's interesting.
Donald Blake who can lift Mjolnir.
What was that?
Mjolnir.
Mew Mew?
Mew Mew.
Mew
Mew.
Stop breaking copyright.
It's not copyright. We're not monetizing it.
Yeah, technically because of the Patreon and the YouTube.
Oh, I guess you have to edit that out, don't you?
We'll see. We're going to beat the system. Or will we?
Say it's for educational purposes.
Gonna get a strike against my YouTube account.
Yeah, I probably want to edit that out.
Yeah, I don't care. But Donald Blake shows up and he's nice enough to give an origin story for himself. I was hiking up a mountain, found a Viking tomb.
Well, no, he was working on some sort of archaeological expedition, which who knew that he was involved in archaeology?
Up a mountain where he found a Viking tomb.
Yes.
Where he could read all of the ruins on it.
Runes, not ruins. Runes.
He could read the runes on the ruins.
Yes, that's better.
Where he found the hammer.
Mjolnir.
And he picks it up and uses it like a shake weight.
It's also very diminutive. It does not look anything like Thor's hammer should look like.
It's real small.
It looks like something that you would use to, like, pound a couple of stakes in the ground and, you know.
Like maybe a finishing nail. It's not really meant for something like a box nail.
No, you can't. You probably couldn't frame a building with this.
No. But no, he gets the hammer and he works it like a shake weight.
Yes.
And he calls upon the mighty Thor. But he does it by yelling the word Odin, turning his head away, cowering. Lightning comes, and Thor appears. Thor does not replace Donald Blake as he does in the comics. He's just another dude. He's a dude living inside a hammer who was also previously a skeleton.
I don't know. It just happens.
And then he complains, he's like, I'm not a real man, I'm just a fake man. I'm like, you're definitely a real man, you just live in a hammer.
Yeah.
Also, you have a skeleton.
You're a genie in a really shitty bottle.
You gotta rub him the right way.
Yes, good job. Zach Aguilera.
I am Christina.
Christina Bowen. Anyway.
But, as you do...
Banner's like, yeah, you're full of shit. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, check this out.
I'm so foul-mouthed in this episode.
Sorry.
I've had to bleep you like 8 times.
You've been pretty foul-mouthed, too. You had a pretty foul-mouthed tirade.
Yeah, I guess I did.
You dropped an F-bomb this show. I didn't.
A couple.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. We'll see in editing.
Okay, pot. I'm kettle.
And I'm white.
So am I. Actually, I'm extreme.
Actually, you are. You're wearing white shorts and a white shirt with your pasty complexion.
Only from the thigh. Only on the thigh. I have some skin tan.
I wish you didn't lift your shorts up.
I was proving to you.
But David Banner's like, yeah, that's cool. Help me tame my monster.
That sounds really, really bad when you phrase it like that.
And Donald Blake helps him, only to release Thor for some reason after he shake weights him out.
And somehow Thor knew who everybody was in the room. Oh, you're Banner.
And Thor goes, I want some mead. So he pulls a panel off of some electrical equipment.
Yeah, it wasn't really smart.
He doesn't understand what refrigerators are or where to find mead.
No.
And then he throws David Banner into just open wires.
Yeah.
Where he's electrocuted, and that's the end of the movie. Or he turns into the Hulk.
He turns into the Hulk.
Okay. And then we are treated to the pièce de resistance. Wait, pièce de resistance.
Pièce de resistance.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, see?
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
The Thor Hulk fight, which lasts about 90 seconds, and about 80 of those seconds are Lou Ferrigno just flexing at Thor.
And Thor's like, oh, you troll.
Yeah, he does call
You know who Thor reminds me of so much in this?
Fabio?
No. The way he speaks is like Thor from Grand Theft Auto on the radio.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like
I wonder
Hercules in New York or something.
I wonder if that Thor was like the inspiration behind that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. But they fight, or Lou Ferrigno flexes for a while. But they do have the best fight soundtrack of all time. During their lack of fighting, our soundtrack isn't sad piano. It's just a guitar solo.
Some dude wailing on a Stratocaster.
Which should be every fight scene ever. Every fight scene should just be guitar solo.
You've obviously never watched the animated Transformers.
Yeah, we watched my DVD of that. I'm sure that was your most recent viewing of it.
The animated Transformers?
Yeah, I don't have the DVD anymore, but yes.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago, but we still did it.
But even like the cartoons, the fights were just electric guitar.
Weird Al had a song in that?
He did.
A weird
who sang the theme? Do you remember who sang the theme?
Oh, boy.
It was your ringtone for a while. To the point where I wanted to strangle you in your sleep because you kept getting text message after text message after text message.
Unless it was like Foreigner, but I feel like that's wrong.
No, it's not Foreigner. It's White Lion.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, White Lion.
But the fight...
Fact check the show on that stuff.
I
I'm
believe
telling you the truth.
The fight ends.
When
you don't even need to look it up. I'm just going to believe you.
When the cops show up.
And Hulk turns back into David Banner. He steals some clothes, leaves some money on a clothesline.
$10 for a pair of pants.
Yeah, it was the 80s. And Thor finds him and just goes, I smelled you out. No explanation. He just literally taps his nose. He's like, I can smell you.
It's a gift from Odin.
What is that?
He was looking for a sweaty, half-naked man trying to steal clothes from people's yards.
He finds him, brings him back to Donald Blake. Separate entity, Donald Blake. He's like, hey, found him. He's like, Odin! And brings him back to the hammer.
Yes. By the power of Grayskull.
Yeah, basically. And then Thor has a talk with Donald Blake. He's like...
Well, Donald Blake has questions. And Banner's like, everything was all right until you brought Thor along. And he's like, maybe you should get some questions answered by Thor. And Thor's like, well, I'm not going to answer your stupid questions until you take me out to fulfill my needs of food, drink, and women. It's pretty much what he says, too.
Yeah, so he brings him to a biker bar.
Yeah, and...
It's like Terminator.
There's a long dance scene.
That was dancing?
Okay, gyrating.
Of gentle kicking.
At which Donald Blake says, I have 2 beers and I'm wasted. And Thor pretty much drank the bar dry.
Look, have you ever seen that Seinfeld episode where Elaine does the tiny kicks? That's what Thor does. Imagine Thor doing the tiny kicks.
Thor
and
also
that's the scene.
walking around in the 80s with the boots with the fur.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, he dressed in, like, regular clothes except for his boots, which were still, like, sheepskinned.
They're made for walking. Which, by the way, not Bruce Banner, but David Banner, the first time he transforms into the Hulk, he's wearing cowboy boots.
Was he?
Yeah, because you see the cowboy boots split open. Anyway, carrying on.
You know what we haven't mentioned at all? The mob.
Oh, yeah, like the whole sub-story of this whole thing is these people trying to...
The entire thing of the villains that we haven't mentioned at all?
Yes.
There's some jackass at this lab named Zach.
Typecast.
What a jerk.
Yeah, that's why your parents named you Zach, was after this guy.
No, they just got to the end of the book and didn't want to look again.
Well, Zach isn't the last name in the book.
It was the last page in the book.
How many babies? There's a lot of Z names. Like Zebedee, Zebediah, Zeus.
Not enough.
Zachariah.
Yeah, not enough to fill a page.
Zucchini.
Not a name.
It certainly is a name of a vegetable.
They didn't have vegetable names in baby books.
You don't know that. Carrot Top.
Terrifying man.
He should have been cast as it.
Okay. But, yeah, so there's this whole, like, mob subplot where the mob is trying to attack the lab where David's working because Zach doesn't like David.
Because they want the
gamma
irradiator to turn it into a weapon. Because that's what all bad guys want to do. They want to turn things into weapons.
And
they have no business being weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Zach dies.
Zach does die.
Zach's very dead at the end of this.
Zach gets shot.
And somehow when he got shot, he's in the ICU and like has a big raspberry on his forehead. He was also involved in a really intense game of racquetball with some guy.
One of the mob guys is like, "You're not in shape. You don't know how to play this game. This is the game of life and death." It's like, it's just racquetball. It's like, shut up! Life and death!
The guy's like, fine. See if I let you win this point. 9-17. He starts playing. Like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Look, the movie goes on for a while.
It goes on for a while. They kidnap Banner's girlfriend.
Yeah. The Hulk and Thor try and pull down a helicopter.
That was kind of... Yeah, that was really...
The two of them just like trying to do
why is that?
Okay.
Failing. But more importantly, here's my plot hole point on that. The helicopter obviously is already taken off. Why would they hover high enough for Thor and the Hulk to come and jump and grab onto it?
I don't know. The biggest disappointment about this movie is the two of them only fight for about 90 seconds. It's mostly slow motion flexing.
You also miss out on like the other subplot of the reporter trying to track down the Hulk.
Jack McGee, he was from the show. He's from the pilot. And yeah, so Jack McGee is back looking unhealthy, to say the least.
Well, he's been trying to track down the Hulk and
for years.
The Hulk hasn't been seen for a couple of years.
And he finds David Bannion's apartment where Thor is, and Thor's like, "I got this." He just comes out in a towel. He's like, "I am Bannion. I am subtle." And that's where he tries to shotgun the beer. Where only like
he didn't know how to open the tab, and he stabs
it,
and he like crushes it, makes a lot of foam, and then all of a sudden he has a pitcher full of beer. 6 beers would not fill that pitcher, A, especially B when you just make foam, and it wouldn't have settled that quickly.
Well, also just stabbing the one hole. I mean, that's not going to work for you.
Well, you stab the hole and you crush it, it might be able to, like...
I don't know.
I mean, it's been a while since I've shotgunned a beer, and I know you have to open the top up.
You have a beer.
I do.
No, don't do that.
I'm not going to shotgun it now.
I'd prefer if you didn't. Make a mess. So Thor comes out in a towel, scares Jack McGee away, which is really his main scene.
Yeah, that's pretty much...
Scaring him with Thor in a towel.
That would scare me away if I knocked on the door
Thor...
and some giant man came out and opened the door in just a towel.
Look, Zachary dies, David finds out about it, they go and they stop the mob, and then he has to leave because...
Well, because everyone knows that...
He's around, I guess.
They've seen the Hulk many times. David Blake kills a man with an assault rifle. Donald, whoever.
Yes, Donald Blake does shoot a man with a machine gun.
Pretty sure the Hulk also kills a guy when he throws an iron beam through, like a big steel beam through two people.
He hits him with a girder.
Yeah.
He hits two guys with a girder, straight on.
Yeah.
They're dead.
And then Hulk also throws his hammer at a car, and it causes the car to flip.
Oh yeah, with the slowest crash ever. It's like 5 miles an hour.
After the guy gets shot, he's like, "I've been hit." Oh, how about all the like when the mob
crash into these boxes?
When the mob people talk back and forth on the radio, yeah, Breaker 1-9er, yep, that's a Big 10-4 copy. Like, who the hell writes this? It was like, it's hard to listen to. Anyway,
the Incredible Hulk TV show is, I still think it holds up as a whole. There are certainly good and bad episodes, but this introduction of the first Marvel character into the Hulk mythos it's kind of a sack of crap.
Yeah, it was good campy Hulk fun.
It wasn't. I was certainly never bored.
No.
I was never bored.
There's always
I'm also a fan of the Hulk TV series, so I'm not even saying this. I was like, I don't like this like older stuff. Like, I like the Hulk show. I just don't like this movie.
There's always something going on in it, and
it's just
weird. It's 90
and
minutes. It wasn't terrible.
Oh, and then
we've watched way worse things on this show.
And then he leaves his girlfriend, and they played the sad Hulk music.
And it's like the dog is barking. She's like, it's no use. He's gone forever. No, woman. He's right there on the beach. Run after his ass.
You know what? He has left a lot of women in his dust. But I don't know. I would say go watch the old Hulk TV series. It's good.
I think
for the most part.
Yeah, it condenses it down. It's the same.
Don't watch this though. This is kind of meh.
It's the same formulaic thing. The Hulk is happy. He hasn't had an incident in a while. Something happens that causes him to have an incident. He has to get involved and save the day. But he's like, I'm going to try and solve it.
But you know what's nice about watching the Hulk TV series? It's an hour shorter.
Yes.
So
it's half-hour
don't do
episodes.
that.
Here's the other piece about this, all right? He's gone, he said, been 2 years. First time somebody slaps him, he turns into the friggin' Hulk. What has he done? Like, he not been, like, something had to have happened over those 2 years where he got upset about something.
How often do you get slapped?
Not often, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like the littlest things turn him into the Hulk. Like, if he tripped and fell and skinned his knee, you would think he would turn into the Hulk.
Yeah.
His pizza was delivered late.
I would say skip this one. If you want to do anything, just do a YouTube search for, like, Hulk versus Thor. And you can find the weird guitar solo 90-second fight. It's really...
Hulk was even hit with a tranquilizer dart.
Oh, yeah, he went down fast. He's like, my God, the tranks.
Yeah. Apparently the guy had the solution all along for the Hulk. It's a little something to take the edge off there.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Just have some Xanax. That's what he should do all the time. Just have Xanax.
Yeah.
Don't get angry. Solves the problem.
Modern pharmaceuticals.
I'd say skip it.
All right. I would... If you're bored and there's nothing else...
YouTube the 90-second fight. Just do that.
YouTube the 90-second fight and...
Call it a day.
Yeah. It's every Hulk episode you've seen, plus Thor, times 3.
But worse.
Yes.
And there's no Billy.
But Billy...
Nope. They need to watch it for themselves. Moving on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
Here's a question I was harassed with.
Okay.
Star Wars
When you phrase it like that, it seems very negative.
Star Wars Episode 8 is coming out. What do you think about the Porgs? You haven't talked about the Porgs.
What are the Porgs?
Well, funny you may ask.
It's not funny. It's a legitimate question.
Yeah, whatever. We're going to look it up. How do you know what Porgs are? I guess we don't really know what they are yet either. Because not until Episode 8. That is a Porg.
Oh, it's like,
That is a Porg. Ooh, that's terrifying.
Oh.
You getting the gist here?
They're like...
cutesy little toys to sell, and they're already selling like crazy.
Discount Ewok.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the Porgs?
I don't know until I know what they are and what they do, other than they're probably a marketing ploy to,
sell toys.
Sell toys.
They've been relatively divisive. Some people hate the Porgs. Some people love the Porgs. I say, I don't care.
Who cares?
A lot of people, but apparently not us. Some people are going to have a stronger opinion than I would. Okay, so let's take this back. What are your opinion of the Ewoks?
I think that the Ewoks... I'm trying to say this tastefully. I think the Ewoks... I really don't have a strong opinion on the Ewoks, actually.
I do.
I don't hate the Ewoks, but I don't necessarily love the Ewoks. I like what the Ewoks represent, though. It's like, the littlest thing really helped overthrow the giant evil empire. So it's like anyone of any size can make a difference no matter what.
When I was a kid, and this is my forgiveness point, stop looking at your ingrown hairs.
It hurts.
Yes, it's very red and inflamed.
We all get them.
When I was a kid, I loved the Ewoks. I thought they were great. Like, I got photos of me in DC in 97, taking photos of them behind plexiglass, all that stuff. I had action figures. I thought the Ewoks were great when I was a kid. When I grew up, I was like, the Ewoks are really stupid. But Star Wars are essentially kids' movies. And I liked the Ewoks as a kid, so they get that kind of infinite pass on my end. Like, I liked them as a kid. So I liked that part of the children's movie when I was a child.
What's the difference between that and, like, a BB-8, then?
I like BB-8. I never said I disliked BB-8.
No, I'm just saying that, like, Ewoks they're there for the kids.
I would like to hope that kids enjoy BB-8 the way that I enjoyed Ewoks.
I'm sure the kids love the hell out of BB-8.
He's fun and cutesy, and he gives a thumbs up with a lighter.
That's badass.
I hope kids like BB-8. I hope they like Porgs. I don't care if kids like it, then it's fine.
Porgs. Just making sure that it was enunciated properly.
But yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Is if kids like it, that's fine. Because I liked the Ewoks as a kid. As an adult, I'm like, they're really dumb, but
we'll see what they do.
It wasn't made for adults.
No, it wasn't.
So there's that. Yeah, that's my opinion.
There it is.
That's what I have to say, and I hope that kids like Porgs too, and I hope they don't suck.
You hope to sell a lot of them.
Yeah, probably. I should get some Porgs.
Oh, you probably should get some Porgs. I had pork last night for dinner. That was really good.
Porgs.
Yes.
Tasty.
Where can we find you?
I don't know, my store.
Okay, so this is another piece of the show. We need to help advertise a little. This is free advertising for the store.
Here we go. You can find the store at editorsnotecomics.com on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you could review the show over on iTunes. Help other people find us. Rate, review, subscribe. We're all on YouTube, other podcasting platforms. If you want to get the show a day early every single week, you can go over to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month. Get you this show a whole day early, and my other show, The Buffy Backish Spin. If you care about that, you should. I enjoy that show. A whole week early, because that is recorded well in advance. And you can find the store physically at 210 Water Street in downtown Hollowell, Maine, where I am there 6 days a week. And you can just tell me how great the show is.
There you go. Any sales coming up? Anything of note in the store?
Hell no. I just did a big one. Start your Christmas shopping.
I'm just asking, do you have Porgs?
Not yet, but I will.
There will be Porgs. All right. So
you want a gift card for Christmas? Do that.
Oh, so you're going to do gift cards again this year?
We do them all the time.
Oh, okay.
They're always for sale.
Oh.
I'm just throwing it out.
Are they like the little magnetic strip ones, or are they like a little physical paper gift card?
No, they're a physical gift card where I put my seal of approval on it. And by seal of approval, I mean physical seal that has all of my information on it, so I know no one is forging them.
Is it your, was it your Notary Public seal?
It's essentially that, with all the store information on it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I know that one's... Look, if you can fake my seal, you have earned your right to steal from me. You can't fake a seal. Stop.
You don't know that. Is it a stamp, like a press seal? Like you put the paper on, you like stamp it down, and it crimps the paper in a certain fashion.
It's a clamp.
That's a clamp seal.
Yeah.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Failure acknowledged.
I'm glad we've had this discussion.
All right. And you're on Twitter.
At Junior Rich.
We'll be back next week.
Ooh, what are we talking about next week?
Weirdly enough, another bad movie.
Oh.
Another bad TV movie. Sorry. Look, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
We're just treading water until Thor comes out.
No, well,
yes.
You know what the real issue is? Is October is all horror stuff. So, but then November is so packed with like Thor.
Did you go see it?
No.
Do you want to? I've heard it was really good.
I know. I can't wait to see it. I love the book, except for that weird group sex thing at the end.
I don't think it's going to happen in the movie.
I hope it does.
That's weird. They're kids, man.
Well,
the losers.
It doesn't happen until they're adults in the sequel. But I mean, I've read the book. I know what happens. So.
Stephen King did tweet something out about that today. There apparently is going to be an It 2.
Oh yeah, no, that's how the movie ends. It says it says It Chapter 1 at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Not really spoilers, but the book was split into two different time zones, like the 1950s and the 1980s. Now I'm just going to wait for Redbox, just because I don't think I need to see this one on the big screen.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I really want to see it. I can wait a little bit longer.
Tell me all about it, because I don't like horror movies.
I do. Well, wait till October when it's all horror. But yeah, that's why we're kind of getting stacked.
Is it going to be horrible?
No, it's all good stuff.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, that's why we're doing like this kind of stuff now, because October is pure horror stuff, and then in November it's all Thor and Hulk, and then after that it's going to be leading Christmas episodes and Star Wars. So we got to do our prep stuff now.
It's almost 2018.
Let's see if our preview show was correct.
Oh, we should go back and listen to that.
No, we shouldn't. That's awful.
I feel like we should to see how well we did.
I don't want to. Some people love it.
Most people hate it.
Yeah. But hey, we had fun.
Fun, it's a relative term in this situation.
I enjoyed myself at the time.
Huh?
I don't want to ever go back.
I remember walking in that day to record the podcast. You're like, I've got a fantastic idea. Just let it play out.
Well, like I said, Carrie Fisher's dead, so we can't make fun of her in the holiday special. So let's do something different.
Does that mean we have to watch the holiday special this year?
Yes.
Son of a bitch!
Enough time has passed.
I'm out.
See you next week for a bad TV pilot.